Well, good afternoon, New Spirit family. It's great to be here with you for this week's devotional. It's been some time, and I apologize, and it's great to reconnect with you again on our YouTube channel. And I hope you're having a great week, and I want to just share with you a quick encouraging word. For those of you who heard my message this last Sunday, I talked to you about a brother's keeper and what it means to be a keeper for those that God has gifted us to share in our lives. And we looked at the parable of the Good Samaritan and how Jesus responded to a lawyer's question, who is my neighbor? And of course, Jesus puts that question into the real world. And he presents a scenario in which a man had been beaten and robbed and left for dead and had been encountered by three different men. The first was a priest. The second was a Levite, and both of them went out of their way deliberately to avoid helping him. And yet, even though they were supposed to be religious and to know God's word, they failed to be a brother's keeper. And then Jesus shocks the crowd by presenting a third person. But this one is a Samaritan, a man who would be despised and hated by the Jews. And yet he goes out of his way. He changes his schedule and at personal expense helps this man, heals him, and saves his life. And it must have pained the lawyer to answer the question when Jesus says, you tell me, Mr. Lawyer, which one of these proved to be his brother's neighbor? And he said, it must have been the Samaritan. It surely was. And so we're reminded of this message that Jesus is asking us, and really not only telling him, but all of us, that we're not supposed to just talk about it. We're supposed to practice this and put this into practice. And I remember what James chapter 1 verse 22 tells us, that we're supposed to be doers of the word and not just hearers. And so we need to put this into practice, and we can start with our loved ones and our immediate family. We can start with the people in our work, but we need to practice being keepers of others, to watch for them. If we see them struggling, if we see them down, to not hesitate to go and say, are you okay? To pray for them, to encourage them. That's what we're called to do. And it takes practice. But if you continue to do this, the Lord will bless you and make you more effective in this. I want to share with you a final passage. 1 John chapter 3, verse 7. Whoever practices righteousness is righteous as Jesus is righteous. And the key word here is practice. Whoever practices righteousness. You need to practice it every day. You need to do it with those around you and so forth until finally righteousness is just part of who you are. It's part of the way you act. It's part of the way you think. It's just the way you are. It's that righteousness that God gifts you with. And so we need to practice this in our real life, and soon we will find others blessed by this. I hope that this message encourages you. And until next time, my friends, God bless.